Alright folks, 31 days of horror / 31 days of Halloween. I believe we're at day 25, so I mean, we're almost done here. We only got a couple of more films left to review. And we're in the really sort of a weird era for the genre, 1999. And this is a film where when I tell you the plot, you're going to say, wow, this sounds like another film that came out in 1999. It's a film about a guy who's sort of a chosen one, who goes into a virtual reality world and slowly uncovers that the reality around us is not real. That in fact, there's a lot more going on behind the scenes, and a lot of the stuff we know of actual reality is actually sort of computer generated, and we're all living a lie. Okay, that sounds a lot like The Matrix, right? Oh, but I'm not talking about The Matrix. I'm talking about a different film that came out the same year. And believe it or not, it's actually a film by David Cronenberg, the same guy who did, oh goodness, what all did he do? Did Videodrome, actually did Nightbreed. No, wait, he didn't do Nightbreed. He starred in Nightbreed, but didn't direct it. It's a film we did a couple of days ago. Of course, it's called Existenz. Oh, I got sidetracked there. I'm really sleepy. I'm sorry, y'all. But anyway, the movie's called Existenz from 1999, directed by David Cronenberg. And Cronenberg, he does a lot of films, about augmented reality, about the interlay of technology, and, basically how we're all living vicariously through all these different sort of mechanisms. In Videodrome, of course, is about, pornography and, violent media. Dead Ringers is basically about drug abuse. Basically, everything David Cronenberg does is sort of like furtive commentary on how we're trying to escape from reality through all these different channels. And Existenz is a film which addresses the idea of virtual reality. Now, it's kind of outdated in a way. I mean, I know we do have, Oculus and all that stuff. But this was way back in 1999. The Dreamcast first came out. We still kind of held on to the idea that we could put on, a virtual reality helmet and, basically live some sort of like weird, like post-modern technology second life. So yeah, and that you watch it, it does feel a little sort of archaic. But I mean, I guess the general theme, we all live on social media and all that stuff. It does still kind of have some merits. It's a little bit relatable. But basically, the general storyline, pretty much what you expect. There is a guy who is really against virtual reality because everybody's doing it. So he's sort of like a neo-Luddite. But he's also like a hardcore, anti-virtual reality terrorist. And he ends up hooking up with the designer of the world's most popular virtual reality program. And the virtual reality programs, this is a Cronenberg movie. It's got to be really weird. It's like this weird, like fleshy control pad that looks like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like this skin peach-colored, like leak pad thing. I mean, it's really out there. And basically what you do is you hook it up directly to your spine and you just go into it, and it just fades out of reality. So basically everything people do on their iPads and iPhones today is what they're doing in Existenz. So basically, the guy and the designer of the virtual reality program have to go out in hiding. There's a bunch of guys that are after her. And of course, it's one of those movies where it kind of does that whole thing where it's like, is it real or is it not real? Is it fantasy? Is it a dream? Is it part of the game? It's just really convoluted. I mean, it's like one of the worst of the Elm Street films where you're just like, I don't really care. I mean, it's probably just like a dream sequence anyway. You don't really know what's happening, whether it's real, not real, whatever. And I gotta say, at the end of the day, I mean, it has sort of a quasi-decent twist ending. I mean, and there's like sort of a final scene where like all the, anti-technology revolutionaries like go jihad against, Silicon Valley, which is an interesting concept to be sure. But overall, the execution here just isn't there. I mean, David Cronenberg, he's a guy I kind of have a love-hate relationship with. I mean, when he's good, he's great. I mean, I love The Brood, I love Dead Ringers. These are among my favorite, horror offerings ever. But, a lot of times I think his stuff is just kind of off. I wasn't a big fan of, Rabid or Shivers or really Videodrome, which a lot of people celebrate as one of the best horror films ever, but I think it's kind of overrated. This one, it's got a lot of ideas, but they just don't gel. They don't really come to a head. And I think it's just like starts off with like sort of a decent idea, but it trails off and never really fulfills its vision. And I don't really think Cronenberg himself really knew what he wanted to say about virtual reality and technology and the interlay of all these things coming together, and how it ties to our biology and our notions of self. So basically, it's just a real muddle of a movie. It really didn't have the budget necessary to really kind of pull off what they wanted to do. It's kind of obvious that he kind of had a limited budget and really didn't have enough time to kind of sort of extend his ideas and really go out there and make the film he wanted to make. So it suffers tremendously. So I mean, it's got some good ideas, but overall, I'm just really not that satisfied. It's a pretty disappointing film. All in all, I'm going to give it 2 pieces of candy corn out of 4. So definitely not the best Cronenberg movie to kind of get your Halloween jollies from. I say look elsewhere.